What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy Dre. This is GTM TV. I got my man.
Yo, it's your boy Warren Peace. What's happening?
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Unconscious.
You can follow us and go look us up at grabthemichouston.com. Please go to the site. The link is below. Today we're going to be sharing our top 5 favorite albums of the year so far. So far. This list will be updated, of course.
Yep.
This is just a little taste of what we do in GTM along each other and amongst each other. Yeah, I said that wrong. But anyway, you get my point. So let's start it off. Number 5. I say Wale is the album about nothing. Anyone else disagree?
Nah, he's at number 5. He's where he should be rated. I feel...
He disagrees.
So, Warren disagrees, but let me explain my point. You know, Wale's album about nothing, good production, and I know it's an album about nothing, but there really was no cohesion as far as the theme. And I feel like there was a little bit too much of Jerry Seinfeld on it, even though it was like paying mad respect to the show.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of, you know, Jerry Seinfeld talking and a lot of, I guess, moot points that he was making. That just kind of fell apart at some places for me. So it was overall a good album.
So for me, I personally believe that my top 5 is Kyle's album, or KID, whichever you want to call him. And I say this because, you know, I'm a huge fan of like the stand-up comedy rap.
Yeah.
So I may not be on such like a subconscious or conscious level, you know, as far as music production and lyrics and content, but I really just love, I mean, I am, but at the same time, I really just love the, you know, just having fun on a track, you know, going into the studio and just, you know, just having fun. Now, I hate that, you know, that almost, you know, rap where you yourself don't even know what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? I hate that type of rap. So I would definitely put Kyle as my number 5 because, you know, he's very funny, very passionate, and he didn't have a high production level, so he wasn't able to just go into a $1 million studio and just get the best quality in the world. He had to fight,
and I definitely agree with that. But the only thing I have about Kyle that is just, it doesn't give me the flair to put him as a top 5 or anything. Is pretty much the fact that it's Kyle. I love his rap, don't get me wrong, but there's certain rappers that I just don't put in that category as rappers. I put them in that category as an artist, like Drake, Mac Miller, and all these people who give a little bit playful with it, or they make a love song here or two, but they're not really a rapper. So as far as a rap album, I can't give Kyle that one. So, and not only that, the majority rules. So therefore, number 5 goes to Wale, people.
Wale. Okay, I can respect that.
Not only that, if you want to know what our list is, it's gonna be in the description box, definitely.
And it will be updated as we go through episodes.
Yes, definitely. So, number 4, I will definitely have to say, I want to get that one to Kendrick. I just can't, I can't say anyone. I mean, it was iffy or whatever, but I get that one to Kendrick.
I also have to give it to Pimp a Butterfly.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Killing me.
For the fact that To Pimp a Butterfly was actually really, it was very creative.
It was profound.
It was very profound.
It was very different.
It was very different. But as far as expanding the genre of hip hop, it didn't do that. It didn't enough culturally, nor did it just expand beyond, right?
Like, don't get me wrong.
He did have, it was, the creative juices were definitely flowing as a rapper, and that,
as an artist too.
And that could be one of the,
went up.
And that could be one of the best albums of the decade.
The decade.
But as far as this year,
no.
He's also having some tough competition.
I mean, he had a lot of people going at his throat with this album. And my thing is, it's like, it took me back to that West Coast feel. Don't get me wrong, I love certain songs on there, but there's certain songs that it didn't give me the same vibe. Like, I would listen to How Much a Dollar Cost before I listened to Complexion. There's certain songs that hit me, and there's certain songs that kind of, it was a miss. It took me a while to catch on to it. I love the poetry throughout the album. This is a poetry club, so of course I'm gonna love the poetry throughout the album. But as far as his creativity and all that, yeah, hands down, he won for the decade. But as far as this year, I've seen a lot more rappers come with it, and I think, hey, the way how Kendrick works, in the next 4 years, he's gonna drop another album, and we're not gonna like it probably. But at the same time, it's gonna take his albums are albums that it takes years to progress through. Section 80, that might have been something at first listen, you was like, yeah, that was hitting. But sometimes for some people like me, it took me probably weeks to get onto certain songs that I wasn't generally eerie to, like, it's okay, it's iffy. So I mean, Kendrick, you got a lot of work, man. I love your album, your discography, but at the same time, there's just gonna be certain albums I'm not gonna mess with. So Pimp a Butterfly is just one of those albums where there's only a few songs on there that's actually hitting to me. Now, this is opinionated, people. Do not bum us down in the comments. This is opinionated. This is from teenagers who just have a mind. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Now, before we go any further, I would like to give an honorable mention, even though I know he's not going to be number 4. I would like to give an honorable mention to Lil Dicky's album, Professional Rapper. You know, the people he had on there were so, like, diverse, you know, as far as his features. Yeah. He didn't have the same mindset of people that he had on his features. Snoop Dogg, T.P.A.N, and I believe there was one more person that he had featured on there, and I love his background.
It was a singer. I know who you're talking about. And it was very different, and I think it was a very versatile album. I would say that as an honorable mention, he definitely deserves that. But as far as what it is for me, he's one of those artists that you just have to watch. Who knows what he's gonna do with his next tape? Who knows what he's gonna do? Cause when I first heard "Let Me Freak," I died laughing.
I love "Let Me Freak."
I died laughing. Okay.
As soon as you're done watching this video, Lil Dicky, "Let Me Freak."
Yeah. Professional Rapper. With title track. The title track.
Yeah.
It's very different. Very different. But I mean, Lil Dicky, you definitely have some work cut out for you, and I think it's gonna be funny. Who knows what you're gonna come back with? You might come back with some 8 Mile stuff, some B-Rad stuff, like when he first started off, before he was throwing up on people on stage. But it is what it is. So that moves us to number 3. Number 3. Y'all want to take this one over? Cause
number 3.
I'm gonna let you go first.
3. Okay. 3 for me has to be Joey Badass's album Before the Money.
Number 3 for me, before you go any further into your you know, spiel, number 3 for me is definitely gonna have to be Futuristic. I love his content and his passion on tracks, and the fact that he can switch up his flow and switch up his style just so easily and so quickly, you know.
Two different albums. That's the thing. It's two different qualities, 2 different ears for those albums, and I think Joey, he has it, man. He has it. And Before the Money was good, but my thing is, wait. My thing is, I mean, same thing with Futuristic. He has it. I mean, it's no way impossible that people like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but people like Fetty Wap should have the XXL cover.
Yeah, that
Futuristic kind of deserves it a lot more. He went around the city. Yeah, he ran around the city
dressed as a nerd.
Dressed as a nerd, and as a matter of fact, not even a city, Compton.
And blew people's minds. Went to high school.
He blew my mind when I first heard the song.
Nerd raps.
The greatest and songs like that. He has it. Yeah. He has it. He has what a lot of rappers are missing.
So much passion and feeling.
It's hunger.
And I love him personally, because he sounds a lot like me. You know, I'm a very egotistical rapper. I love talking about myself, which I know may not be the greatest, but you know, it may be, you know, one of my downfalls. But I just love that he's able to talk about himself in such a positive way. And then on another track, he can talk about it was one track that he did. Oh man, I can't even think of the name. Look, there was another track where it was like the complete
I'm gonna just put it like this. Yeah. This is what our consensus is. I give the honorable mention down to the T, and this is not even an honorable mention. He just stole like the half part of number 3. I'm gonna give it to both of them because you know what? Joey has it. There's not a lot of New York rappers to where I'm like, yeah, they got it. Like when I first heard 1999 era, very profound songs like Waves and just those straight up like Bronx style.
You have to really give it to Joey because
and I'm giving it to Joey, but the thing is, as far as the honorable mention and who gets that bottom tier, like they're in that same area where they're hungry, but at the same time, who knows what their next project is gonna be? Yeah. Because you know what? Futuristic can come out with another project, and just like his old projects before the rise, it might not be what I'm looking for.
Right,
Same thing for Joey. There was certain songs where I wasn't keen to, where it was like, okay, yeah, I see where you're going with this. And that's why I say, I mean, they both took the number 3 spot. But as far as how Joey works, no offense, but I kind of would rather Action Bronson over Joey. No offense to anyone, but it is what it is. Let's keep moving. Number 2.
Number 2. This is where it gets serious.
Yeah.
Now, this is where stuff's gonna get heated.
Yeah.
Warren, you can grab number 2.
Number 2, man.
I don't want to start number 2 because I definitely want to say, and Donald, you're gonna love me for this one. My number 2 is gonna be J. Cole's 2014 Forest Hills Drops, and you're gonna love me for what my number 1 is. And my number 1 actually changed just this morning, but I'm not gonna say it yet.
Okay. You know what? I have to agree, man. It's hard because it's like J. Cole's album is one of those albums where I just can't listen to one song.
So one song you have to.
You
listen
have to play the whole thing, and that's what a best album is for me. You gotta play it through. You can't just.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take this song and it's good. Nah, you gotta play it through.
Before we go any further, even though this was a 2014 album, it still had enough popularity and still segued into 2015. So.
And not only that, let's just be honest here. When it dropped 2014,
it was at the very end.
It was only people who actually was a J. Cole fan. Like there was but a handful of J. Cole fans. Like you had people who was like, man, this man is profound. But there was a little sect of us who was like, man, yeah, J. Cole hit. He dropping this album. He dropped the album. You gravitated to the ear, and then he did that performance at Jimmy Kimmel, and it was mind blowing.
Wow.
Not Jimmy Kimmel, the Late Show with David
Letterman. I'm so sorry, people. That was my mistake.
It was one line he said that I will never get over. He said, they let a black man steer the ship, but they didn't tell him that the ship was sinking.
And those are things that I say, you know what, hands down. If it wasn't number 1, he definitely had number 2, because you know what, J. Cole has been putting in some work. I'm a fan of J. Cole. I've been listening to him since, man, Any Given Sunday. Like, I go way back to the warm up and all that. Like those are albums where I'm like, yeah. And when I first heard his first album, The Sideline Story, it just didn't gravitate me like how albums like Friday Night Lights did. So I mean, well, mixtapes or whatever you want to call it. But my thing is that he found it. He found the key. Go back home. Yeah. Let me see what my streets are like. Let me make an album about it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like any album, because Good Kid, Mad City was an album where he went back to the streets and was like, yeah, I'm a hard hitter. But it was like there were certain songs on there where it was just like, I don't think it tied into the story you were looking for. Like the album was great, but I don't think it tied to the story. And with J. Cole, it just seemed like he finally found his soul. Like a lot of rappers don't have a soul when they get into this rap game. They just sit there, make a bar, oh, that was fire, put it out, and nobody likes the bar. They're just like, oh man,
they're gone.
I'm done.
They're gone.
They're gone.
So
they're not gonna get in the game no more. So J. Cole, number 2, definitely hands down. And cover art too. Like if we was going by cover art, hands down, him and Kendrick had the best cover art this year.
You know, I'm actually,
went to the Before the Money.
Me and my friend Dwight, we're actually working on a tape together. Yeah. And so our cover art for it is him sitting on the roof, and the name of the track or the tape is gonna be called His Address. It's like 8600 Red Circle Gate or something like that.
Oh, so they're just stealing ideas.
Yeah, so we just completely stole it.
No copyrights. No copyrights, people. He's talking about a mixtape, no album. He's not stealing an album. He wasn't saying J. Cole is on the roof or nothing. He's saying his friend. Calm down, people.
Unanimous decision, J. Cole in number 2.
J. Cole. So, for number 1, I just want to take a moment of silence.
Here we go.
Let's do a little drum roll real quick. Hands down, Lupe, Fiasco, Testuo on you.
Let's go.
Has to be Testuo on you. There's no other way. It couldn't be Testuo on you.
Yeah, it could.
Dots and lines?
Dots and lines. Prisoner 1 and 2, Choppers, Delivery.
Mural.
He started off with Mural. Is the album with Ab. So
Mural. Oh my God, the beats of Mural actually painted a mural.
Yeah.
It was so orchestrated and so beautiful.
Okay, so let's take a little breather, because I'm very psyched about this album, because you know what? It's been a while, Lupe. It's been a while, man.
It's been a
Like,
long day.
The last album that I
Without
was
you, my
like,
friend.
yes, the last album that I was like, man, I'm a jam forever. The Cool. That was the last album I said that. Lasers came out, I was like, oh, maybe this might be nice. Show Goes On was kind of...
Show Goes On was very pop-ish and very
then
clubbish.
Words I Never Said, it kind of looked like he linked up with a B.O.B. type song, and it was like, okay, I heard the words that you were saying, but people are so drowned out by the singer that they don't hear the words that you're saying on this song.
The same thing that people do with swimming pools.
Yes.
Like Kendrick.
They missed the whole
They completely
thought.
misinterpreted it.
Like, they're thinking... He said that wrong, people. Anyway.
That's a potato.
But you know what Lupe did, and what we see with like albums on this top 5 list is that they expand. And what Lupe really did, he really expanded what hip hop was and what rapping was in general. So like Lupe, you know, if you're a hardcore Lupe fan, you know, this is a totally different rapping style that we have not seen. This is a neo Lupe rap style, and to say. Almost all his bars are double entendres.
Yeah.
He goes on for
like 36 bars.
Yeah.
for like 7 minutes just right. No
Okay,
hook,
so-
nothing.
He said I mean wave, but not as in a wave in the ocean, but as in hello, and I don't mean hello, but as in it was crazy. It was crazy.
And that's the thing. It's like we all knew Lupe had bars. Nobody in here could sit here and say Lupe never had bars, because you know what? When he first came out with Kick Push, and I like first listened to Food and Liquor, that was probably one of those albums that I was listening to right after I would jam College Dropout and all that. Like those were albums I was playing back to back because Lupe had it to me. Yeah, back to back. Lupe had it. And see, you see this? Lupe had it, and that's why I was like, you know what? After hearing this album, and I wasn't too psyched about it, cause you heard songs like Next to It and Flies and all that, and it was just crazy, and it wasn't something I was looking forward to. But when I finally sat there and listened to Miro and Deliver and Madonna. And just Adoration of Maggie. Oh my. These are songs that people misinterpret. These are songs that they will never play on the radio because of how deep and how raw he gave it to us.
And you know, as he said, you know, it will never be played on the radio.
Yeah, never.
And great works of art and great works of music, you know,
it was never seen.
Don't need to, you know, will never be seen, but don't need to be played on the radio because the radio couldn't. If you heard this, if you were jamming this in your car, you couldn't understand. You wouldn't be able. You wouldn't be able to vibe to this album
because you're trying to jam it. But
you'd have to listen.
You got to be a conscious person on this stuff. Like you literally have to sit there and dissect if you really want the substance
all
out
of his bars.
Not just one or two, all of them.
You know, to quote Lupe, you have to go to Harvard to be a Lupe stan.
Listen to the interludes just to get the message through to the little songs that in between those interludes. Like when I first heard Fall and then he hopped right into Miro, I'm like, oh wow,
you know,
dope. And it's those things right there, and that's why I say this list is pretty much, it is what it is. And next, I guess all we can say is the albums that we look forward to. Right now, hands down, Mac Miller, You Got My Attention with Break the Law. Got my attention. Yeah, you got my attention.
I'm looking forward to this album. I'm a hardcore Macklemore fan. I'm a hardcore Macklemore fan. I don't really like Downtown, but like
no one likes Downtown.
I take it back. I'm hoping that Mac comes back from comes back to like his 06 type Macklemore.
Yeah, whatever.
Like Language of My World Macklemore.
No, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
You know what I'm saying?
And,
where he's bumping real hip hop.
Yeah. Somebody who I wasn't looking forward to, but he dropped a couple songs on the little OVO radio where I was like, you know, he might give me something more towards those days of comeback season and all that, which I'm pretty sure he's not. But hey, Views from the 6, who knows what he's gonna do on there? We can only hope.
So I don't like Drake. Disclaimer. I don't like him.
Chill out.
So before we close this episode, we need to do a quick recap of the top 5. So at number 5 we have
Wale.
Album About Nothing. At number 4,
Kendrick Lamar.
To Pimp a Butterfly. 3.
For three, we had Before the Money by Joey.
Before the Money.
And number 2, we have 2014 Forest Hills
Drive.
by
And number
J.Cole.
1 goes to Lupe, Fiasco, Testuo, and you. Therefore, I
just
just gotta close this out by saying, oh, be watching us next week. You already know what it is. It's your boys, Warren, Donald.
Thank you so much for watching.
Your boy Dre. You can follow us on Instagram. You can hit us up anytime. We do have a Snapchat. These will all be links in the bio, people.
And we will all have all social media taken care of sooner or later. All
I
of that
just
will be
realized I
taken
had
care
on my
of.
school ID this
Sooner
whole time.
than
So if
later.
you all saw this in camera
Sooner
that
than
I had on my school ID, I am so sorry. I just gave away all my identification. I love y'all. You already know what it is. Leave a comment in the box. Please subscribe, like the video. It's GTM TV. We out.